This is one of the most requested video, which I honestly didn't really expect. I don't have perfectly smooth skin like some models, and I don't use a lot of fancy skincare products either. But there's one thing I place a lot of importance on in my skincare routine, something that helped me maintain healthy, balanced skin as a late 30s everyday mom, and that's my cleansing routine. I'm sure this will also be immensely helpful for men, teens, or honestly, anyone who washes their face with some sort of soap every day. Yes, I know some of you might be thinking,
Cleansing is cleansing. What's the difference?
but I found that even a small tweak in the cleansing process, or simply understanding the basic principles, can make a huge difference when it comes to caring for your skin. That also means if you cleanse your face the wrong way, it can lead to various skin issues like dryness, irritation, breakouts, persistent redness, or even a weakened skin barrier over time. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through each step of how I cleanse my face, along with seemingly small but important details I pay attention to while doing it. And of course, I'll also share which moisturizer and skincare products I'm currently using afterward. Not recommended habits. First, let me start by sharing 3 cleansing habits you should avoid, because over time, they can actually harm your skin, seriously affecting your appearance, how you feel about yourself, and more importantly, your overall quality of life due to discomfort or pain. You might feel like the impurities and dust that accumulate throughout the day are damaging your skin. So you end up cleansing multiple times a day or scrubbing it too thoroughly. But overwashing can strip away your skin's natural oils and weaken its protective barrier. Twice a day is enough for most skin types. 2. Blindly following someone else's routine. Yes, it's important to understand basic skincare principles, but your routine should be tailored to your own skin. What works for others might not work for you because everyone has a different skin type. In a minute, I'll show you how to figure out what your skin type is. 3. Over-exfoliating. I actually exfoliate very rarely, almost never. If you feel your skin really needs it, try doing it no more than once every 2 weeks. People with excessively oily or acne-prone skin may benefit from gentle exfoliation. But honestly, a good cleanser is usually enough. Before I go over each step of how I wash my face, let's first figure out what your skin type is. So when you purchase any skincare product or follow someone's advice, the first step is understanding your own skin type. Everyone's skin is different, and different skin types require different approaches and different products. In my case, I have combination skin. I used to have some acne when I was younger, especially in my T-zone, my forehead and nose. These areas would get really oily, while others, like my cheeks, felt a bit dry. Now that I'm in my late 30s, I still have combination skin, but I've noticed it's become a little drier overall, especially during the winter. Even my T-zone isn't as oily anymore, and the other areas tends to feel even drier. So I've had to adjust my skincare routine to reflect that. How to figure out your skin type. If you're not sure what type of skin you have, here's a simple way to find out. Assuming you do your skincare routine in the morning, like cleansing and moisturizing, then by evening, ask yourself, how does your skin feel overall? Does it feel oily, like you need to use oil-absorbing sheets? Does it feel dry, like you want to apply more moisturizer? Maybe it feels dry in some areas, like your cheeks, and oily in your T-zone. Or perhaps it's balanced without no issue at all. How to wash your face. Now that you know your skin type, let's talk about how to wash your face properly. And by proper, I mean doing it with a specific goal in mind. When I wash my face, my goal is this: to cleanse it of external impurities, dirt, and excess oil, but do that without damaging the skin's natural protective barrier. One important lesson I've learned is this: in most cases, it's not washing too little that harms our skin, but washing too often for too long, or using too many products. That's why the cleansing process should be gentle and quick. Not rushed, but also not overdone. Here's a step-by-step guide on how to do it. 1. Adjust the water temperature. Set the water to a lukewarm level, not too cold or hot. 2. Wash your hands first. This ensures your hands are clean before touching your face. 3. Wet your face. Gently apply water to your face without rubbing too hard. Think of it as placing the water on your skin rather than scrubbing. 4. Apply facial cleanser. So, depending on the day, I either use a water-based cleanser or do a 2-step cleanse with both an oil-based and a water-based cleanser in that order. For everyday cleansing, I use the CeraVe Foaming Facial Cleanser. It's a low pH cleanser, which means it's gentle and doesn't over cleanse the skin. Before applying it, I lather it into a nice bubbly foam. If you apply it directly without enough foam, it won't cleanse your skin as effectively, so getting a good lather is important. Gently massage it into your skin using circular motions with your fingers. Be careful not to rub too hard. Keep this step under 30 seconds, depending on your skin type. If you have oily skin, you can go a little longer. If your skin tends to be dry, keep it shorter. I usually go for about 20 seconds. On days when I wear makeup, I do double cleansing. I start with an oil cleanser, massaging it and rinsing it off the same way. Then I follow up with the CeraVe facial cleanser, which is water-based. However, I don't use the oil cleanser every day because I found that using it too often can make my skin feel too dry. And one more thing. Also, in the morning, especially during winter, I cleanse my face using only water, and I found that it feels much better on my skin. 5. Rinse thoroughly. Wash off the cleanser with the water about 10 times thoroughly, but not excessively. Don't rub your face harshly. Instead, let the water gently rinse away the cleanser. 6. Pat dry with a clean towel. Instead of rubbing, gently press the towel against your skin to absorb the water. 7. Apply moisturizer almost immediately. This is a very important step. Before your face gets too dry, apply moisturizer while your skin is still slightly damp, not dripping wet, but gently moist. This helps lock in hydration, keeps your skin moisturized longer, and leaves it feeling soft and light. I use Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizing Lotion as my moisturizer of choice. I've been using it for the past 4 years, and I love how light it feels on my skin. I usually apply it in 2 layers, spreading it evenly across my face. 8. Finish off your night skin routine with retinol. After applying moisturizer, I use a bit of retinol as the final step in my night routine. I'm using the CeraVe Resurging Retinol Serum and have been trying it for about 2 months now. It's a very light formula, which I chose to see how my skin would react. So far, no issues. It feels good after applying. I think I'll need to use it a bit longer to see noticeable results, but I'll keep you updated on how it goes. I started using it after learning that retinol is one of the most well-researched and effective ingredient in anti-aging skincare, with benefits like reducing wrinkles and helping the skin look younger and healthier. It's basically a form of vitamin A. If you're looking for a stronger effect, there's a more potent version called a retinoid, but be sure to consult your doctor as it can cause dryness and irritation. Alright. The entire cleansing process before applying moisturizer shouldn't take too long. Less than a minute is recommended, as over-cleansing can weaken or even damage your skin barrier. This is so important, I can't stress enough. I've learned that some people apply moisturizer 30 minutes to an hour after cleansing, which honestly surprised me a little. Moisturizer works best when applied to damp skin. In other words, it's most effective when you apply it while your face is still slightly dewy after cleansing, not once when the skin is dry. Most moisturizers are basically a combination of water and oil, and applying them to damp skin helps trap hydration before it evaporates. The oil component creates a barrier that locks in moisture and supports the skin's natural protective layer. No water left on the skin. Another thing I pay close attention to is not letting water linger on my skin, especially after washing my hands, doing the dishes, or even washing my face. If you leave water on your skin and let it evaporate, it can actually dry out your skin and weaken its protective barrier, especially if you don't follow up with a moisturizer. This becomes even more important when using hot water, which can strip away the skin's natural oils more quickly and potentially lead to more serious skin issues over time. So try to avoid using hot water on your skin, and don't let water sit on your skin for too long. Gently pat it dry with a towel and apply moisturizer right away. I've learned this the hard way. My second son struggled with severe eczema when he was 5 months old. It was one of the most difficult times I've ever gone through. At the time, I felt the pain of watching him suffer was overwhelming. I had to dress him in special clothes to keep him from scratching his face while he slept. Dealing with the constant itching was hard enough, but trying to stop him from scratching was even more painful. Sometimes, after hours of crying, just as we were falling asleep, he would manage to free his hands and scratch his face. Then it would get infected again, his face covered with yellow pus and blood. This lasted about long 1 year. The reason I'm sharing this is because we eventually realized it all started with a drooling on his face. Saliva creates a moist environment that softens and breaks down the outer layer of already sensitive skin, making it easier for irritants to penetrate. While water isn't as harsh as saliva, it can still dry out the skin and cause issues if it sits on the surface for too long. Even now, he's still dealing with some mild eczema on the same spot on his hand. We've noticed that it's the area he often misses when drying his hands with a towel after washing. So if you have sensitive skin, make sure to pat it dry and moisturize it right away. Sunscreen can be a tricky one. When it comes to applying it on my face, I try to find a healthy balance. Let me explain what that means. We all know how important it is to apply sunscreen when we're out in the sun. It protects our skin from UV rays, which helps prevent premature aging, sunburn, and even skin cancer. But at the same time, if sunscreen is strong enough to block sunlight, it usually contains active ingredients, some of which may not be ideal for long-term skin health, especially for people with sensitive skin. That's why it's important to find a sunscreen that works for your skin type and apply it in a way that protects without overwhelming your skin. If you apply too much sunscreen, especially the heavier formulas, you'll also need to wash it off more thoroughly at the end of the day. And if you're not careful, the extra cleansing can damage your skin barrier over time. So I try to find a balance, using sunscreen to protect my skin, but not to the extent that it ends up damaging it. I also make sure to choose one that can be washed off gently. On days when I don't wear makeup and know I'll be indoors most of the time, I either skip sunscreen or apply just a small amount. If I'm going to be outside for long hours, like watching my kids' soccer game, I make sure to apply a decent amount of sunscreen. But honestly, I don't reapply it every 2 hours like some guidelines suggest. Usually just once in the morning after applying moisturizer, and maybe one more time in the afternoon. I know this can be a bit debatable, so feel free to share how you prefer to use sunscreen in the comments. As for the ones I use, one is called No Sebum Sun Cream by Make Prem. Yeah. And the other is the Light Watery Sun Gel by 식물나라. They're both SPF 50. I got it during a recent trip to Korea. It's not thick, doesn't leave a white cast on my face, and feels very lightweight, almost like a light lotion. I got it from Olive Young. If you have a H Mart in your area, you might be able to find it there too. Good-looking skin is ultimately healthy skin. When you take care of your overall health, your skin naturally becomes healthier too. So as obvious it may sound, drink enough water, eat whole, nutrient-rich foods rather than processed, sugary, or deep-fried foods, and make time for exercise and good sleep. These habits directly contribute to healthier, more radiant skin. Other skincare products I use a face mask pack from time to time, for example, the night before filming. I recently got this one from Korea, and it's a bit different from the type I usually use. I use it as a hydrating mask before doing my makeup after my regular moisturizer. I've used them a couple of times now, and they really help my skin feel more hydrated. I noticed that my makeup goes on much more smoothly. Although, I think the simple steps of proper cleansing and moisturizing are enough as a foundation, you can definitely try those K-Beauty face masks if you're curious to see how they work for your skin. That's it for me today. I would love to know what product or moisturizer you're currently using and whether it's working well for you or not. So please leave a comment down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!